Netflix damage control officially activated. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos has made a rare comment about his professional relationship with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Sarandos spoke about Netflix's partnership with Meghan and H in a new interview with Variety, published just weeks after the former 90210 star's critically slaughtered Pinterest show was released on their platform. Beyond its initial investment in Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Netflix is also allegedly taking a stake in her lifestyle brand as ever. Last week, reports surfaced that Netflix was worried about the negative reaction to the giant infomercial for edible flowers and soda water. The Daily Mail reported that Meghan Markle's bosses at Netflix were worried by the grim reviews of her new show, and her own excited announcement of season 2 did not mean the Sussex's quote unquote $100 million deal. Vanity Fair says that's not even close to the number, had already been renewed. An insider told the publication it's not a runaway success, adding they understood that season 2 was filmed back to back with season 1 last year. They also said, I know they filmed the show back to back, so in theory, there is no second season. It's like with lots of Netflix shows. It is already in the bag at the same time as the first one. What this does is allow edits to be made to the show from feedback from press and Netflix viewers. It's clever and cost effective. So, no, the overall contract hasn't been renewed yet. Cost effective is my favorite code word for cheap. The source added that bosses were worried about the poor reviews, especially as they are a business partner of Meghan's new lifestyle brand, admitting the industry Bibles like The Hollywood Reporter and Variety are not keen on it. Netflix bosses, they're now thinking about how much they've invested in a lot of the product line. They don't know when or how to roll it all out. How comforting. Over at the Daily Express, the UK paper reported that Netflix regrets their Meghan Markle deal after With Love flopped harder than a green pancake or waffle. An insider told the Express it doesn't matter how much Netflix tries to spin this, With Love Meghan has not been a success, either critically or commercially. It's been savaged by critics the world over. Sure, there have been a few lukewarm reviews of the series, but in general, it's been poorly received. They admitted Meghan and the Netflix PR machine tried to gloss over the failure by having the Duchess post on social media that the show had broken into the top 10 rankings, but it just as quickly dropped out again. Even the SAG Awards, which aired in February, is still in the top 10 global list and has pretty consistently been in the top 10, while Meghan's show is nowhere to be seen. The source said the big issue Netflix has is that they paid way too much money to Harry and Meghan for content that they haven't got their money's worth yet. Netflix are going to have to either keep churning out content with them or cut their losses and run. Perhaps Sarandos' comments to Variety mean that Netflix plans to churn out content in a desperate attempt to make their money back. He said, we're a passive partner in Meghan's company, and it's a big discovery model for us right now. Now, if you're asking yourself, what the heck is he talking about? The discovery model refers to a strategy where a company focuses on identifying new opportunities, testing ideas, and adjusting based on feedback rather than following a fixed, predetermined plan. It's often used in startups or tech companies, but clearly Ted's not listening to feedback. He's trying to say that instead of assuming what customers want, Netflix is gathering data, conducting experiments, and refining their offerings. Companies typically use the discovery model to adjust their strategies based on real-world feedback. But audiences have told Netflix that they simply don't buy what Meghan's selling. This method, ironically, is so opposite of Netflix's initial investment in Harry and Meghan, who had no experience producing content for streaming, no record of success. This method would have been a useful alternative for Netflix instead of making a large, risky investment upfront. Netflix should have tested ideas on a smaller scale before scaling up. An example of that is Netflix originally using a discovery model when transitioning from DVD rentals to streaming. They tested user preferences, gathered data, and adapted their strategy rather than committing to one fixed plan from the get-go. But Ted is relentless or stubborn, explaining, I think Meghan is underestimated in terms of her influence on culture. He added, when we dropped the trailer for Harry and Meghan's doc series, everything on screen was dissected in press for days. The shoes she was wearing sold out all over the world. The blanket that was on the chair behind her sold out everywhere in the world. That's not an influence on culture. That's just an influencer. He argued people are fascinated with Meghan Markle. She and Harry are overly dismissed. He has a point there. It is fascinating to watch someone consistently things up. To quote good old Tina Brown, she's effortless at getting it all wrong. Asked whether Netflix was serious about being involved in the couple's brand beyond just a marketing play, Sarandos replied, it's good for marketing and branding. This is all expressions of fandom. Further speaking to Netflix's commitment to its relationship with Meghan and Harry, a source close to production told the Post that Sarandos clearly has their back. The New York Post blissfully reminds us that With Love Meghan did not receive universal praise, with some critics calling the show pointless, exhausting, and boring. Embarrassingly, it pulled in 526,000 households in its first 5 days it was available. This is according to data obtained by data analytics firm Samba TV. Sarandos defending the company's relationship with Meghan Markle, despite underwhelming viewership and critical response, likely comes down to a few strategic reasons. Number one, I would say, is protecting Netflix's reputation. Netflix has invested heavily in celebrity-driven content and partnerships. Admitting failure too soon could make the company look like it lacks foresight or is too quick to abandon high-profile deals. Number two is justifying the investment. Netflix reportedly signed this multi-million-dollar deal with the Sussexes. Publicly acknowledging disappointment could raise questions about how the company evaluates partnerships and spends its budget. Number three is long-term strategy. Sarandos may believe that despite a weak start, Meghan and Harry's content could improve, or that their association with Netflix still brings brand value. The company could be playing a long game here, hoping their projects eventually find success. Number four is maintaining relationships. Netflix wants to keep attracting high-profile talent. If it openly criticized Meghan, other celebrities might see the platform as disloyal or overly critical of its own partners, making them hesitant to collaborate with them, fearing that maybe they could one day be in Meghan's shoes. From a PR standpoint, I even asked myself, could he be trying to deflect from the headlines that Netflix, are currently generating, that they're maintaining this relationship with Meghan in case she divorces Prince Harry? Might he want to kill the growth of that story? And I think that that's a possibility. Sarandos publicly defending the couple could be an attempt, or Meghan specifically could be an attempt to redirect the narrative and stop speculation that Netflix is only keeping her around in case of a high-profile divorce. If that rumor gains traction, it could make Netflix look opportunistic and transactional rather than committed to its creative partners. The kind of perception that could alienate other high-profile talent who might see Netflix as only interested in scandal-driven content. By doubling down on their support for Meghan, Sarandos shifts the focus away from the waiting for a divorce storyline and reframes the partnership as a strategic and creative one. This also helps Netflix maintain control of the story. If the press runs wild with the idea that Netflix is simply waiting for Meghan to become single, it undermines her brand and makes it harder for the company to market any future projects with her. She's Betty Homemaker. Well, she can't sell aprons because of the trademark issue, but she's trying to sell us this family lifestyle. The Markle family has issues with that, obviously, because she's not talking to them. But that's what she's trying to paint, the picture she's trying to paint today. By defending the relationship, Netflix can try to position itself as a long-term creative partner rather than a company banking on royal drama, which, let's be honest, the only commercial success that Netflix has had with Harry and Meghan has been surrounding royal drama. I also think it's very possible that Meghan Markle or her team encouraged Ted Sarandos to publicly defend her. In Hollywood, public perception is everything, and having a powerful industry executive vouch for her could serve several strategic purposes. Meghan has faced so much negative press, especially regarding this latest project underperforming, not to mention the memes. And having Sarandos praise her publicly helps counteract that storyline and signals that she still has the backing of a major player. If the industry perceives that Netflix is losing faith in her, other companies and producers and media entities might hesitate to work with her. Sarandos's endorsement reassures potential partners that she's still a viable figure in entertainment. Bizarrely, if Meghan wants to secure more projects or renegotiate deals, having the CEO publicly support her strengthens her position, and it suggests Netflix sees value in her beyond just the analytics, which are not great. Okay. And if the rumor that Netflix is only keeping her around in case of a divorce is gaining traction, a public defense from Sarandos helps shut that down. It makes Netflix look genuinely invested in her as a creator, not just as a potential future headline or scandal. While we can't know for sure if Meghan directly asked for their support, it would benefit her significantly to have a Hollywood heavyweight say nice things about her in the media, especially right now with all of these celebrities going at her on social media over the show, especially when her reputation and career opportunities are at stake. Although, if you ask me, I think Ted just sounded like he was doing damage control. Ultimately, Netflix is a business, and even when an investment underperforms, publicly defending it can be a strategic move to maintain confidence, avoid embarrassment, and keep doors open for future deals. Do you think Netflix will continue working with Harry and Meghan, or will they quietly phase them out? I think they're going to quietly phase them out. Specifically, what are you thinking about the comments that he made? Did you read between the lines? Did you think that there was anything else to them? I want you to know. I want you to let me know in the comments below. But make sure you like this video, subscribe, and share it with a friend. I was kind of surprised by the comments, if you ask me. I was like, that's why I think that they were instigated by a Miss Markle herself. So let me know if you think that Meghan would she have the gall to ask Ted to step up for her and to defend her? Because it's a win for her to have him out there saying he still believes in her despite all of the chaos surrounding the show. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kinsey Schofield.